from in a bygone day. They're the eyes of a man whose lust knows no bounds.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the horniness of the creek. My name is Mark. With me as always is my gorgeous, beautiful, stunning, lovely, sexy wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up, weirdo?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is, I don't know, it's fucking November 17th, 1999.
It is. Almost Thanksgiving. It's coming.
It is. Cockle-doodle-doo, or whatever they say. What do they say? What do turkeys say?
No, cock-a-doodle-doo is a rooster.
Yeah,
gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, as they say. Is that what the Hamburglar was supposed to be saying? Was the Hamburglar part turkey?
Maybe.
He's like, robble, robble. What is that? Robble, robble. What is that?
I don't know.
Did the Hamburglar have brain damage?
I don't remember the Hamburglar speaking. Did you?
He would say robble, rob. Yes, he would appear in the corner of my room and say robble, robble.
I see.
And then I'd look in the mirror and robble, robble would say murder parents.
Okay.
Now, I never listened to him because my dad always told me never to listen to mascots in prison uniforms, but...
Wow. So, yeah,
thank
we
God
watched...
for him, or he would have been Menendez.
We watched an episode of Dawson's Creek called Escape from Witch Island.
Yeah, it should be Escape from Witch Mountain or whatever, right? That's a movie, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, Disney movie.
Yeah. I think that's a play on that, obviously. They'll do movie titles when they can for the title of their thing. They used to do it all the time, remember?
Yeah.
Like, the first season, it was like everything was a movie title, and then I think they realized, like, we're going to run out of movies.
So, in this episode, Dawson...
They should have called this the Island Witch Project or whatever.
Right, because they're ripping off the Blair Witch Project.
It is 100% a ripoff of the Blair Witch Project. And you know that they love movies or whatever, because at the beginning of the movie, we get the gamut of opinions on the Blair Witch Project. I didn't think the Blair Witch Project was scary at all. I needed Dramamine afterwards. And it was, like I've heard from people. We did the Blair Witch Project, by the way. Listen to our regular show if you don't want to. I mean, if you do want to.
Especially if you don't.
If you don't want to, listen to the Hamburglar. He's telling you to do it.
Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, so we liked it. I think, and I wonder if that tracks with the cast of who liked it and who didn't. My theory that if you have a good imagination, then the movie is scary to you, and if you don't have a good imagination, the movie is not scary to you.
I think that makes sense. But Dawson wants to make a documentary, just like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like the homework assignment he's been given.
But he calls it the Bear Wench Project. It's really weird.
What?
Instead of the Blair Witch Project, it's the Bear Wench Project. He's making a porno, is what I'm saying. Because it's Horny Creek.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. You were in the middle of...
You
were in the middle of making a point. Go ahead.
I just think it's fucked up that in this school they keep letting him make movies for his homework assignments. Like, he's got to learn how to do real work.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it would never happen in real life. Like, no one's ever experienced that where instead of, like, a project, they say, hey, can I make a movie? And they're like, yeah, go ahead and make a movie. It's never happened.
Are you making fun of me?
I'm not making fun of you. It's just I did this all the time.
You did?
Yes.
What?
There were several different... I went to a small school, and by the way, I think they put a stop to it after a while, because I started this trend in the school, but then it kind of exploded in popularity doing it. But in like 3 or 4 different classes, like English, creative writing, there was a couple of other classes where a project was doing. I was like, hey, can I make a movie like to demonstrate this project? It got to the point where this girl that I was dating at the time, when I was in high school, wanted to make a movie for chemistry class. And so we made a fucking movie about an Indiana Jones style explorer and his 2 female assistants.
What?
And I played the Indiana Jones style explorer looking for isotopes. And at one point, I ad-libbed a song, Isotopes in the Night. Would you like to hear how it goes?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on. What the fuck? That's not how improv works.
I didn't expect you to listen. Go ahead.
That's rude. Do you all want to hear it out there?
I'm
Do you hear them clamoring?
Some of them do.
Here, I'll play the cheer sound. Oh, that's not the cheer sound. This was the song. That's what you get. That's what you get for telling me no. We're listening to it in the entirety.
What?
Oh, I'm just joking. Not in its entirety.
No, please sing us your isotope song.
It was isotopes in the night, exchanging electrons, wandering in the night, becoming ions.
Wow.
Which is all scientifically accurate. And I ad-libbed that shit on the spot.
Good for you.
And they filmed it. And then apparently the teacher was like, I wasn't even in this class. The teacher was like, that's amazing. And she was also the chorus teacher. And she was like, I want him to come out for chorus.
Well, you do have a very nice voice. So.
No, I don't. But
yes, you do.
anyway, so yeah, I did this a lot.
Okay, so I guess it's not that weird when it's a small school, but
So
like
this
I feel like
to me.
none of my teachers would have allowed this shit. Anyway,
That's right. I grabbed a girl from the rich uppity like
what?
pampered district next to mine. I'm talking about how I got you from a different school.
Not rich or uppity.
No,
What is that? Jesus.
But the school is the school the school you're referring to that we will not name. The school, Judy Greer's school, is a well-to-do school. You guys had a lot more resources than we did.
Sure. So let's talk about Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, let's talk about our lives. I mean, Dawson's Creek. So he's making a movie for his project because anytime he can make a movie for a project, he will.
He invites Joey to join him first, I believe. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Like, I know there was...
Real quick. I just had a great idea. I had a great idea, and he didn't invite Joey first. He invited Joey last. But I just had a great idea because I was thinking about if Dawson had to do a movie for math class, right? And he could call it. All these thoughts occurred in my head at once, and he could call it 2 + 2, like a romantic comedy. 2 + 2, and it's 2 couples, right? And then I thought someone should make a romantic comedy called 2 + 2, but it's 2 couples hooking up.
You know what's funny?
What?
About this episode so far? Was right before we started to...
Dawson's Creek? Right before we started to do what?
Never mind. Like,
No, go ahead.
I really am so sick of trying to talk and not being able to that it's making it like I don't even want to try to talk. So you go right ahead. You can carry the episode. Because what I was going to say is that this asshole fell asleep while we were watching Dawson's Creek and said to me, you're going to carry the episode today. And who's been carrying the fucking episode?
You don't need to tell them our outside business.
You don't need to interrupt everything I say, but you do. Like, Jesus.
Oh, come on. You interrupt me all the time on these shows.
He is giggly today. I don't know. Did you get into like the ganja before we start recording? Like, what is going on with you?
Oh my god! All right. Anyway, romantic comedy 2 + 2. They're
Yeah, that's not where we're leaving off.
That's a good idea.
Okay, sure. Yes, it's a great idea.
You think so?
No. I just want to move on. Let me talk about Dawson.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I don't remember the order in which this happened or even the conditions under which it happened, that he invited the three of them to help him.
So he's talking to Joey, I think in his room. I don't remember, but it might have been in the hallway of the school.
I think it was at school. They're not hanging out in each other's room and place.
I guess that's true. And she's talking about like, oh, this fucking project. I was like, yeah, I can't, I don't want to do this or whatever. And he's like, well, I'm making a movie for the project. And she's like, oh, of course you are. And he's like, I'm doing a documentary about these witches or whatever, because it's for their like local history class or whatever. I don't know.
Who has a local history class?
Well, I don't think it's actually called local history, but anyway, so he's like, I am doing a documentary about the island or whatever, the Witch Island, you know, the story no one's ever talked about. And he's like, yeah, Jen and Pacey don't have to do it either because they're helping me make the movie.
Oh, yeah, so we don't even see that happen.
And she's like, oh, my invitation was lost in the mail or whatever. Like, she acts all offended she wasn't invited. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, you know, I didn't know, like, if we were in a, you know, helping each other out place or whatever. But he's like, he then invites her. He's like, come on, you know, come along. So
the four of them go on a boat out to Witch Island, and it seems like
2 + 2.
Yes, dear. And it seems like a very like touristy trap kind of situation. Like they've got a dude who his whole job is driving people across to this island, and
then
there's
ferryman.
There's a gift shop, and like a lady who runs the gift shop, and was there a museum? I feel like there was a museum.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, all the way like before, just like the Blair Witch Project, before they go, they're interviewing people, talking about this legend.
Tell us about the Blair Witch. I mean the island witch.
And the ferryman or whatever you want to call him is creepy as hell, and he's like, you know, you better be back here, you know, in time because I'll leave you. I'm not coming out here at night. Things happen at night. Right. Like, come on.
Yeah, teenagers fuck.
These are high school kids. But anyway,
let's tell the story that they present of the witches. So like it's like a Salem witch type situation where like they're like, oh, these are witches.
They're 13 teenage girls who were like having sex, I think.
Yeah.
Not with each other.
That's like that's the sequel to 2 + 2. It's called 5 + 5 Girls. Yeah, Jen mentions that how like witchcraft was often ascribed to women that were basically just like being teenagers or whatever. Mm-hmm.
So they were wild. They were the wild ones, and so they get banished to this island. There's a church on the island.
Yeah. Who built that?
And
why?
Who is performing the church services on this island that those 13 girls are? Did they also leave them a priest? Like, I don't really get that. But
I guess they're performing it for themselves. Meaning that they were the first female preacher or whatever.
Maybe. But then they lock them all in there and burn them to death.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane considering that we see the church and it's not all burned up. So how is it the same church?
I don't know. Did they rebuild the church just so they could, you know, make money off of the death of 13 teenage women?
I guess. But Jen and Pacey are hanging out in the gift shop.
Yeah.
While Dawson and Joey are like wandering around doing the documentary. Mm-hmm. What kind of help are Pacey and Jen? I mean, like they shouldn't get credit.
I don't know. They're doing stuff at some point, aren't they?
No, I don't remember them doing shit.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe Pacey's being the best boy.
What?
And she can be the key grip.
What is this?
They're putting up lights.
Oh. But they're not. They're hanging out in the gift shop, and she decides that she's going to do a spell. She puts on a witch's hat, gets a spell book, and
some kind of love spell or something,
and starts making a potion.
Yeah.
First of all, how are you left alone in this gift shop for this long?
Yeah. First of all, Willow, this ain't Buffy,
right? Secondly, how does she have all the stuff to make whatever? Like,
Yeah, they just keep Eye of Newt in there.
exactly. And then third, like, why would you drink it? If you actually manage to make it, you don't drink it.
Yeah, no shit.
But she gets Pacey to drink it. She's like, you're going to fall in love with me. And he's like, I am not, because witchcraft is not real.
Do you think he fell in love with her?
No.
I don't either.
No, because...
I think he's a teenage boy and she's hot.
Yeah, well, she suggests that they have sex.
Yeah.
Not because she likes him, but because they both like sex.
Yeah.
And they're single.
Yeah.
So she thinks they should just, they should be able to have sex with each other.
They should be able to be friends and still have sex.
Which is ridiculous and stupid. And, like, there's never been any kind of chemistry between them. There's never been any hint of anything between them.
And there continues not to be.
Yeah.
Both very good actors, but they don't, and, both good looking. Mm-hmm. They don't have that spark between them.
No.
Some people have chemistry, some don't. Like, I think Dawson and Joey have some chemistry.
Yeah.
But I think she has more chemistry with Pacey, to be honest with you.
Oh, I agree.
But in the few scenes that they've, done stuff together, like the boat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has better chemistry with Jen, honestly.
Dawson?
I think James Vanderbeek has better chemistry with Michelle Williams. But I think that's the natural pairing, actor to actor. I don't think that's what the show wants to do, but I think that's the natural pairing between the four of them, because that's the best chemistry.
But yes, she makes some nasty ass potion, and he drinks it. Like, ew. So they both drink it, and then it's like, oh, now they're in love.
Some guys will do anything for sex. I'll tell you that much.
But, like, she was already offering sex.
Yeah, but now I guess he wants love. I don't know.
I don't know. He doesn't want anything, does he?
I don't know.
I mean, I think he wants sex. I think everybody wants sex.
Sure. Before we finish the island stuff, speaking of sex, do you want to move over to Andy real quick?
Sure.
Andy's not doing much, but, like, we keep cutting back to her and stuff is happening.
Yeah, she's in charge of
discipline.
Yeah, in the school. Like, I don't. Did they do this in your school? Did they have a student in charge of discipline?
No, they did not have a. They did not have a fucking overlord. We had hall monitors. That's it.
I didn't want to misspeak again and be like, "No, high school does this," and you'd be like, "Oh, actually."
Well, I don't know if no high school does it, but mine didn't. I've never heard of it.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, so she's in charge of discipline for the students.
I will say this real quick. Sorry to interrupt you
again. It's okay.
But I will say this. Me and a friend of mine were asked by the principal to rewrite the student code of conduct handbook, which we did.
Okay, wow.
So.
That's quite a job.
Yeah.
But I remember there was some kind of committee. They mentioned this before that she was on. But it was a committee.
Some sort of disciplinary committee, yeah.
Not just her. But now it's like it's just her and she's lost her goddamn mind.
Well, yeah. Because she keeps interrupting the principal like I keep interrupting you. Mm-hmm. And says that's why I did it. It's for continuity of the show. And she's like, I'm going to take this job seriously and everything. She's like overcompensating. I think she feels guilty. I don't think she's getting laid.
She's definitely not getting laid.
Well, I thought maybe rapist, like, I don't know. But I guess, obviously not really rapist because she lied about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's ever coming back, by the way.
Why would it?
I don't know. Like, I think it should be revealed at least that she lied.
Oh. I feel like it was.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, so it culminates, not like I said, not a lot happens, but it culminates with her setting up shop in the library and a line of like 1,000 kids waiting their turn. I don't know why anyone would for their punishment. It's like she's fucking like somebody comes up and she's like, okay, 10 Hail Marys and 5 Our Fathers.
Right.
And that's what you do.
Crazy.
But that's what it's like. It's like fucking, what is it called?
A confession?
Yeah, I know, but when you get the punishment.
I don't know. I'm not Catholic.
I know. I was the one. I was the one raised Catholic, and I don't remember penance. Yeah, penance.
Yeah, penance. There you go.
That's what it is. Penance.
So the principal catches her with this line of students.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing? This is done. You're done." So what was she supposed to be doing? That's what I want to know. Like, what kind of misunderstanding did they have?
I don't know.
It's weird.
It is really weird.
But yeah, so I mean, that's all that's going on with her. I don't even know why they have her, except I guess to fill out the episode.
Well, yeah, I think one, to fill out the episode, two, because she's contractually obligated to be in the episode, I guess. Although, what's his name wasn't. Gay brother.
Yeah.
And then I assume that this is set up for maybe next week or like a couple weeks from now. Like this is going to come up, I'm sure. Because they do that. They bring stuff like that back.
Yeah. They got to have some kind of continuity thread.
But anyway, so back to the island.
Yes. On the island of Dr. Moreau. No.
Oh, wow.
No, on the
Excellent
island.
reference.
Huh?
Excellent reference.
There's some there's some kind of flirtation with Dawson and Joey.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they talk about like, you know, how their relationship and where, like, you know, we should be able to be friends and that kind of thing.
And they eventually find, like we said, the church. And wait a minute. Okay. I feel like I'm getting confused.
Did you fall asleep too?
No. I got distracted.
Okay.
They do find the church, but I believe Pacey and Jen end up at the church as well.
I think they're all in the church.
So
It's just Pacey and Jen are like in the back, like in a corner in the pew, like flirting with each other.
yeah.
And Joey and Dawson are like more up front. Doesn't she find like a diary or something like that?
Joey finds a diary of one of the girls and she's reading it and keeps being reminded of her like relationship with Dawson.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up because this girl's banished to the island for having sex with this guy.
Yeah.
They get caught in bed together.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, first of all, you guys haven't had sex. I really don't get the parallels that she was seeing. Did you? Like,
I guess just because like they're separated, they've been forcefully separated. I like that they fucking they send her to the island for having sex, and him they like, I don't know, throw a party.
Right, probably. Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. All the dudes like have a secret party and congratulate him. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but supposedly, true love's supposed to prevail because supposedly he went there to rescue or whatever and dies with them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the last entry is that he was coming to rescue her. Now, whether he did or not is left to, we don't know.
Well, the thing is that we know that the girls died and we have no record of him, what happened to him. So we don't, like, it's left as an open question. Like you said, last entry in the diary is like, oh, he's coming to rescue me or whatever. And it's like, well, obviously she died. She didn't get rescued. So we don't, like, it's left open as like, did he come or did he not? Well, we know he came before, but like, did he arrive at the island?
Well, the kids do not make it to the boat before dark.
Correct.
And get left there overnight. How would this happen? All of their parents are just like, oh, well, none of them came home. No big deal. No thing.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, just like, oh, they're just trapped on the island. That happens sometimes,
Yep. Leave all the teenagers. It's like a lock-in with no chaperone.
Right.
So that's happening. And we see in the video later when Dawson's like showing it in the class.
Well, a bunch of weird shit happens too.
Okay, I'm not trying to end. I'm just trying to talk about the thing that has to do with what we're talking about.
Okay.
At the very end, they see the image of like an old-fashioned dressed girl and an old-fashioned dressed guy standing together on the island. So that's supposed to tell us
as they escape, as they get away on the boat. Yeah. That's
supposed to tell us that the two of them at least met each other.
They got back together and then died together, like presumably. Yeah, that's the implication there. Because somebody's like, he's screening it in class, and somebody's like, "Who's those people on the dock?"
Yeah.
And he rewinds it and it looks, and it's very faded and everything, but you can kind of see it, and it's like, oh. And so some of them, like, and they have a little denouement where they discuss it afterwards. Mm-hmm. And so, I think Joey's like, it's for sure them. Like, it's ghosts. We have evidence of ghosts, y'all. And Jen is like, it's obviously the fucking fairy guy and the woman that was like showing us around, fucking with us and dressing like this, because that's what was happening. They were messing with us the whole time, all the different stuff that was happening, and so that's which we'll get to, and so that's kind of the dichotomy of, like, you know, you could look at it either way. Mm-hmm. You can and the episode very much leaves it open for your pleasure. like the movie 2+2.
Right, right.
But yeah, it's like, was it ghosts or was it these people fucking around
I'm
with them?
sure it was ghosts and not those people, because what good would that do for those people?
Well, and like you said, the legal implications of that is really weird. Like, I guess you could kind of see somebody wanting to... It's like a haunted house kind of thing. But, like, so the reputation of the island increases and they get more tourists, so they get more money. So I get the reasoning behind that. But like you said, with parents and shit like that, in real life, like, they get fucking shut down.
Well,
People would investigate. They'd be like... What the fuck? You left my teenagers here, and they'd be like, oh, it was the ghosts. And there'd be investigations, and they would shut this shit down.
But I mean, they did leave their teenagers there.
Yeah, I know.
There's no, it was the ghost. The ferryman left, or were made to believe he did.
Yeah. So I think it probably was ghosts. That's how I interpreted it as well.
Yeah. So the weird shit that happened, that's how they all end up in the church. They hear a bell ringing.
Yeah.
So they go to the church, all of them, and that's when they meet back
Bells
up.
will be ringing.
And there's no bell.
Right.
Because when they rebuilt the church, there was no bell, but maybe there was a bell on the first church that burned down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. That's the hint. Yeah. That they rebuilt the church because they forgot to put in the bell. How do you forget to put in the church bell?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that and a steeple. Those are the two things churches are most famous for. And repression.
What other weird things happen?
I don't know. I was just...
Yeah, I don't remember weird things happen. You're the one who told me weird shit happened. I don't.
Well, that's that's what they said. They were like, oh, they were fucking with us.
Yeah.
So I figured there was some stuff they must have been doing to fuck with them.
I don't remember them doing anything.
Didn't they tie a bunch of sticks or whatever together?
No. That's the Blair Witch Project, baby.
But Dawson definitely lost the map.
No, he didn't. Yeah, weirdo. No, I mean, like, they all spend the night in the church and then they get off the island. I mean, like, I don't really remember there being other than the fucking potion.
Yeah. The least believable thing is that they all spend the night in this church or whatever on this island alone, and they don't fuck each other.
Yeah, even though Jen wants to fuck Basie.
Yeah, but they don't. But then. That's the last thing that happened. One of the last things that happens. She comes to see him at the video store, and is like, "Hey, we're gonna have sex or whatever. Like, we still should do it." And he's like, "Now?" And she's like, "No, just whenever you're ready, call me, and we'll have sex." So she's basically just like, "Anytime you want to have sex, call me, and we'll have sex."
Crazy.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Do you think they're going to have sex?
Yes.
I don't think they should.
I don't necessarily think they should, but I think they're going to.
I feel like it's a really bad idea.
Maybe they'll try, and it won't work for some reason. Like, they'll start, and then like they'll be like, "Oh my god, like we're like brother and sister or whatever."
No
like,
chemistry.
Yeah, like something like that. You know, like that's like. I mean, obviously they're not, but like that's how I view you or whatever. It's going to be a situation like that. Maybe I don't know.
Have they ever kissed? Did they kiss in this episode? I don't remember them kissing.
Don't believe they've ever kissed, no.
So, yeah, I think that's what'll happen.
Yeah, probably. But that is the episode of the week, Carol. Why don't you tell people where they can find the movie 2+2?
You can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com. Mm-hmm. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.